Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to All in Motion. I'm your host, Jake. Thank you all for taking the time to tune in, and thank you for our guest. This guest has been on the show before, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 55, Comedy Confessions, Inside the Mind of Bobbie Holliday. One of Bobbie's notable talents is his knack for making people laugh in uniforms. Whether it's police officers, firefighters, or any other profession, with a distinct dress code, he has the uncanny ability to connect with them and bring them laughter to our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again, Bobbie Holliday. Hey, all emotion, everybody out there. This is Jake. Got Scar City, Scar City.
What's up? What's up? Good evening, good
Hey,
afternoon, good morning to people out there. What's going on?
hey, again, everybody. This is a very exclusive guest that's been on the show before. He's here again. He's graced us with his presence. I'll let Scar City, please do the introduction, sir.
It's the one and only Bobbie Holliday. What you mean? Come on now.
Come on,
Yeah.
Mr. Bobbie Holliday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God is good. I appreciate y'all for having me. It's a blessing.
Hey, I want to say thank you, number one, again, for being flexible.
Yes, there's no problem, man. Whenever I get an opportunity to for people to hear my voice, I love talking, brother, and hopefully somebody be touched.
Just go up to anybody in uniform. And you found your passion in 1984 when your father did the Elvis impression in the kitchen.
Wow.
Which is,
My man.
hey, come on, sir. I don't play around here.
Homework.
Sir, come on. And fire back a little bit.
It's all good.
Hey, I told you, audience still doesn't, I think a lot of people don't get it, right? People just think comedy is making people laugh. But before, we recorded and Scar City came on, you said something that really caught my attention is about, and I want you, if you don't mind speaking about it, it's not just about making people laugh. It's also about inspiring people. Do you mind speaking on it a little bit?
Uh, but 1992, I began to. I was a rapper. So the thing is, when I go to my cousin who was in church and I would rap to him these dirty lyrics, he was like, "You go to church. Why are you rapping for the devil? Won't you rap for Jesus?" So I twisted up like Tupac had "I Ain't Mad at You." And I wrote a song called "I'm Still Holding On." I called it "Reverse the Curse." So a lot of times I use these videos to have opportunity to minister on the flip side, whether it's through DM and the popularity, I get to talk to young people and tell them I get to minister to them. So it's just like rapping, but it's comedy, and you just flip it, and you're able to help people out through dark times, and that's what it's about, man. Helping people out through dark times. Yeah.
One of your videos that cracked me up that I saw on your on your Instagram account. I think you took it down. You were driving, and there was like, it was in Philly, and they had it was a cop, and they had a street shut down, and he looked at you like, "Sir, get the hell out of here!" Keep going, he was waving you on, and he looked at you, and he started cracking up because he didn't realize it was you. Do you remember that video? It was a really
Yeah.
yeah.
The black cop.
Yeah,
Yeah, the black cop, and he was saying your videos make my day, basically. Yeah. So I was driving by him. I was like, and he was like, "Oh my God, like it's you." He got excited to finally run into me, basically. And yeah, that was a blessing when that happens, because you get people know who you are. And now when I open my mouth, I'm nothing like what they see. I have an opportunity to enter. Laughter opens the door to the soul, and I'm able to pour out, trying to help people, man, because a lot of us are unhappy. A lot of us are miserable. A lot of us don't know about our next week and next year. And I want to be that voice to guide people in the right direction.
real quick before Cigar City goes, I want to say something real quick. Sorry, Cigar City. My mom's favorite comedian, and I want you to speak, if you don't mind, about this, was Richard Pryor. What did he mean to you, And why do you think he's so important to comedians today?
Richard Pryor is important because he held the platon. He went further with it, and people like Eddie Murphy was able to get part of the baton. There were people like Mike Epps, to Kevin Hart, and those people reaching people like Keenan Ivory Wayans and Marlon Wayans, and then they was able to reach me through Martin, and then Jamie Foxx. You know what I mean? So it's all about carrying the torch, whereas though it reached other people. So Richard Pryor is like the staple of comedy, and his comedy reached people, and his legacy lives on to this day in somebody. Man, that was awesome. Thank you,
That
Lord.
was that was a powerful one. That was a powerful one, Bobby. And I
No,
think
hold on, real
also,
quick. I said it real quick. I'm gonna put you on blast, Bobbie, a little bit. All right, I'm gonna put you on blast. I heard something through a birdie that, man, he's like, man, you guys podcast is good, but man, you guys got to come out swinging. You got to have more of a punch. Do you know what I'm talking about? You said that.
I tell that to all the podcasters. People start podcasts and they want to be Nori, and they want to be like Joe Button in a week. It's like, you know, entertainment is like WWE, World Wrestling Federation. None of it's real, but they
right,
got a script. You know?
Shark said, my apologies. Go ahead, sir.
no, it's imperative. I just want to take a step back and say, with the thing with about your question about Richard Pryor, is he transcended a lot of the levels of. If you go back to like comedy back in those days, like you go back to like 70s, early 80s, there wasn't like crazy like that. Like he would say, he spoke his mind, and I think that is a good comedian, especially now in a time where we have like cancel culture. People want to see how skilled and gifted you are, because we have a lot of people in our families that are funny, but it takes a certain level of skill to make a serious person laugh. And that's what I've seen Bobbie Holliday do. That's how I even got onto him, because I see a lot of people do skits and stuff online and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. But when I seen Bobbie, how he went from being serious with somebody and talking about God with them and inspiring people to making like straight up street dudes like, yo, homie, this ain't the right one, homie. You got the wrong dude. And he still managed to make them laugh after that. A random person that they've never seen him a day in their life. That's like a gift from the creator. You know what I'm saying? Because not everyone can do it. If you think it's easy, go and try to do that, and you'll see how difficult it is. It's not that easy. It's a God-given talent. So anyway, I was just saying that's where I see Bobbie Holliday, because he's interacting with the actual people. It's like, I'm gonna say something real quick and I'll hand it back over to you, Jacob. Growing up, I used to watch C-SPAN. And that's why my knowledge of politics is so extensive, because I used to watch C-SPAN, and they would call in to C-SPAN, and it's all over the country. People calling from Compton, people calling from Philly, people calling from New York, people calling from Connecticut with crazy stories, Texas, Florida. And it's like you hear all these stories in different perspectives. It's not whether you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent. It's just the fact of like they're coming in with all these different stories. So we need to tap into the mind of the people, right? So I just feel like I've seen him go. It don't matter. Like he said, he went to New York with the NYPD and mess with them, Like that is a skill. And I'm just glad to be, part of what he's doing. And I'm glad that he's, coming on All Emotion and sharing some of that love.
Yeah, that's a blessing. But I can, see, when I talked about Richard Pryor having the platon and people grabbing that platon, Eddie Murphy. So about time, Richard Pryor, I was young with Richard Pryor, so I kind of got the Eddie Murphy bandwagon of it. And then the Keenan Ivory Wayans to the Jamie Foxx is my favorite comedian, Jamie Foxx. And then Martin Lawrence. So basically what I give y'all is Jamie Foxx and Martin Lawrence with the Wanda and Shanae, but we take it live on the street. So without them and the Marlon Wayans and Living Color, Men in Films, it'll never, I'll be doing something else. Yeah, so I give it to the people that we seen on TV. So it reached me that way. So yeah.
What's your thoughts on Jim Carrey? I haven't heard you speak about him, because I know you said Living Color.
Jim Carrey was amazing. He was amazing. Let people know, like, you want to do this and you want to get into this, but Are you really the game? Are you really what? Can you rumble with the devil? Because he said I would trade places with a broke person,
Mm.
and admit it just so they can experience that these millions that I got don't make you happy. So I like him for his honesty.
Why do you think in mental health, and I feel like comedy ties, and that's what, Scarcity and I talk about, why I think it ties in so much to comedy, and why is it so important that we should talk about it, right? Because
Yeah, we definitely should talk about it. I struggled with it for years. If things don't, when things don't go people way, a lot of times they fall in to depression, and a lot of people don't forgive themselves. So comedy help us forget, laughter help us forget, comedy help us to hide. You understand? So I hide behind comedy because I'm not man enough to face. I told y'all before I was a cocaine addict. I smoked it crack. I smoked it weed at 9, and I graduated as my peers graduated to other drugs. So, my sister died in the fire, and hearing my mother cry like that, it messed me up. Hearing my mother wail like that, it messed me up to the point I had to find a hiding place. America didn't offer therapy. You understand? So comedy was my hiding place. When my dad burnt himself in that oven and acted like Elvis, I knew that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make people laugh. So a lot of times, I started going to church in 1991, and God changed my life. Yeah, God changed my life. But it took 17 years in church for me to forgive myself from the trauma I went through, the people I robbed to smoke crack. So forgiving yourself is key in getting the help. And the help in the blueprint for me, for me, is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. For me, is the man that really got my life in order, meeting my wife ministering to me and being patient with my dumb behind. And now I can sit, a guy with a third grade education sits with doctors, lawyers, and have a conversation with people with masters, and I'm ministering to them and helping them out with their trauma. So God is amazing.
the companies were Fortune
Yes.
500, but it was amazing.
Sometimes
Go ahead.
your journey through life, if you don't break and if you don't bend, a lot of time your experience can have you in rooms that you're not even aware of yet. It can have you amongst people. It's your gifts. God give all of us gifts. So a lot of times, our gifts will have us places that is mind blowing. So when I say third grade education, it's like, I was too cool for school. I was too cool to say I don't know. Can you say, teacher? Can you say that one more time? You understand? And I just the way that I am today, and I have regrets on that. If I would have just, if I wasn't just too cool for school, there's no telling what I could have accomplished. So yeah,
That's deep. That's deep, man. Because I think about all the youth that's going through that right now. Especially with like the state of this country. And I know comedy is one of the things that no matter how much of a something that you're going through that's tough, people love to hear that. Especially that you got saved. That's a powerful component because a lot of people are. That's one thing I know. Even like gangsters that I used to roll with in the Bronx and Brooklyn. Oh, forget about Brooklyn was the craziest. But when you say, yo, I've been saved and I came from that life, I've never seen a person like, I don't care about that. There's always a respect for that because I think people know that ultimately, if there's a chance to get out of that lifestyle from being homeless or being out in the streets on drugs, whatever, that's the way. That's something that they don't. I've never seen people like really turn their back on that. So I love that bring that to the forefront and to the people. I
yeah,
appreciate that so much,
yes.
man.
Some people uh, of they get saved, and it's like an ignorance. A lot of people get saved and they forget they once was Killer Bill or Pusha
Right.
T. They forget. So I always tell people, when you forget your past and your nickname,
Mm,
and you get into church and you forget, you begin to look down on the people that was in the same position as you, and you
right.
begin to look down on them, and you have no compassion, and therefore that's when the drama start, and you can't help touch anyone because you think you bigger than the world, and you forget that you once was in the same shoes they're in. So the
Facts.
Christian church is hurting right now because a
Mhm.
lot of people put on them church hats and them suits.
Right, right. And that's why I love people like Judge Mathis, because he talks, even on his show and outside of it, he talks about his experiences, in Detroit, and, like the system and how the system is kind of like rigged a certain way. And I love that people, not just him, but people like that talk about that and that don't look down on people. And that's me. I come from humble beginnings, you know what I'm saying? And then, I worked through corporate, worked real hard and smart, and worked my way up to, to the VP level. And then I'm still out here now in Florida, talking to the people out here in the street, talking to the youth, just helping out a lot. So I appreciate that. I'm
Helping
passing.
out a lot is the key. Helping out a lot, because you got so many people that arrive that's growing. They can be 45 and 37 years old, but they got a 13-year-old mentality because they not helping out a lot. They helping themselves, and they wonder why they go into depression. They wonder why they always mad, because you always mad because you selfish. When everything don't go your way, you got attitude, you got a problem, and that's self-destruction. It causes damage on your inner man. You understand? So it's good
Facts,
you
facts.
helping out a lot, man. You'll
Yeah.
never have to want for nothing or your kids.
Right, right.
Yes.
And I know there's always talent out there. The two things that helped me, I suffered a lot, not only because of my upbringing that was very rough, but I suffered a lot from alcoholism. That was my vice. And that vice almost killed me. Yeah, yeah. And I almost lost my family over it. But what I would say is this: saved me. I'm be honest, definitely, I started reading the Bible. That was one of the things initially. And then comedy and music. Those are like the three things that
Yeah.
helped me grow.
I did the comedy and the music for 25 years, and I found out that was just temporary. Like, it was just a temporary fix, you know what I mean? So it took me like 27 years to realize, that I needed to go to the next level. But listen, if y'all need me ever to talk and do this, it's no problem. But it's on one condition: we got to change one thing.
What's that?
I was waiting for you to ask that. We got to change his name. We got to be like Jizzle,
Yeah.
straight up.
You talking about me?
Yeah,
He
we,
said
Call
you
me.
need a
You
handle.
call
You
me.
need a handle.
Call me my
yeah.
Hebrew. No, but why don't you call me I'm Jewish. Call me my Hebrew name then.
No, I like Jizz. I'm from the streets. I don't
Nah,
know. What's
I'm
your
not about
Hebrew name?
jizz is
Yaku.
bro. That jizz is like weird, bro. Come on,
Jizz.
no, bro.
Oh yeah,
Jizz,
you're right. Pause.
yeah,
Pause.
pause.
I feel you. My bad.
Harlem
Yeah,
pause. Harlem pause. Harlem
yeah,
pause.
Harlem pause.
Shout out to
Yo,
Cam. Shout out to
just
Cam. It
thank
makes
you.
30 million.
All right, here we go. Don't change the subject. If you want to call me a different name, that's
Jizz.
cool. It's like Scar City said. He said it almost. Go
We
ahead.
like I like Yak.
Okay.
That's good. That's
Yak is
Yak.
fire. That's fire.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
okay, all right. So if what I wanted to touch on this because you talk about giving and stuff like this, and Scar City had a great live the other day with it's a good friend from back in the day and a young female rapper, and it was a great live, and I was uh, blessed to be a part of it. Um, what I wanted to ask you would help kids around the world that don't eat. And so the first thing we did was when I was in Colombia in March, we donated to a school. And then, so there's a process you have to go through, and then the IRS is involved, but
I need to know where my money going.
it's going to a school in Colombia to help children that don't eat.
I don't know. I don't know that.
Then I'll take you there and you'll see it.
Okay. All right.
Do you have a passport?
Of course.
Then you and Scar City and I will go down there and then
Are you paying for it?
All Emotions paying for it, sir. So you're part of All
Wow.
Emotion.
Hold on. Give
I'm
me a
not.
minute.
No, no,
Dala
you're
Shila Kata. I'm talking in tongues, brother.
okay. All right. I said all emotion. I said I'm Scar City's all emotion. You're all emotion. You're part of it. What we're asking is we're building a team. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, so
people don't
y'all
want
know
to.
where the money going for a fact,
Scar
though.
City, Scar City. Please break it down.
Yeah, it's not just that school there, but we're saying in general, just as a concept of putting the stuff together and then making sure we donate, to those that are in need, the schools and people that are hungry. So yeah,
Yeah, I
we know
got
for
you. That's
sure.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Because
so we,
Jerry Lewis been collecting money for like 66 years.
No, but here, no, I'm being straight up, because no, you're right. Yeah, I get it. Like, where your money going? So, Scar City, I shared it with them. Veterans that come home, even from the Vietnam War, that are, PTSD, shell shock, their homelessness, that have, amputees, that people don't know where their money is going. But for me, she sent me the receipt from the bank in Cartagena, Colombia, with the money
Awesome.
that
That's good. That's good.
and then I put that on, my taxes. It wasn't a lot of money, to be honest with you, but we have the videos. If you go on the website, we have another video. So, like, to your point, like, I'm with you over. Trust me, and I have this conversation with Scar City. It's like, where is your money going? And you want proof that it's going to help those children or whatever the
Yeah.
cause is.
Yes,
And
sir.
also,
Yeah.
another way to look at it too is like think about things like fundraisers and stuff like that, right? There's a lot that we can do. The goal is to grow the platforms, right? And I'm big. I'm like a brand strategist. I did this is what I do. I've been doing it a long time, so I know how to get these things. It's just the hardest part is finding people like Bobbie that we partner with and keeping the relationship strong, right? And none of us going to Hollywood. Me. I also have I'm working on developing a record company, but it's actually right now it's artist management. So I do artist management. So I manage a few artists. Now, one of them blows up big, right? I don't want to just like, oh, believe all emotion. It's just the concept of keeping everything together and knowing what we need to do and helping the people out. And I see how you help people, Bobbie. So, you doing that, us doing what we're doing on all emotion and continuing to stay focused.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
All the gun violence and mass shootings in this country. What are your thoughts? And what possibly could we do to change that?
The only way we can change it is somehow we get a hold to these kids and we got every one block in America, there's 3 churches. So it's 10 and 20,000 churches, Muslims, whatever, Catholic churches, and we got all this crime, and we don't see none of them out marching, knocking on doors like Jehovah Witness. We're not reaching our youth. And the thing is, if you can remember hip hop, when it first started, the thing it does, hip hop snatched souls. So the thing is, I shouldn't be able to turn on a FM radio station 7 o'clock in the morning and hearing about people spinning the block, hearing sucking dingalings and all that on my radio station. So the thing is,
Big facts, big facts.
the music is geared to snatch black children, and the same record company that stand behind that hit, putting the money behind it, is the same ones that own the prisons. So the thing is, if we want to make a change, number one, we got to begin to storm the radio stations and crowds. So C. Dolores Tucker was attacked 25 years ago by Tupac, by Snoop, because she was trying to avoid what we see right now. So the thing is, we are accepting the mess in this music. You know what I mean? So we're not taking a stand for our babies. We're not trying to see about our babies. Now it's too late. Our babies is out of control and they run this city. We scared of them. So selling us the guns. The guns
Yeah.
go. The ghost guns are being sold in truckloads. I watched it for years.
Yeah, I've heard
So the thing is, the plan is this: destroy us, have us not to wake up, have us sleep, that we will not the piece of the American dream, the American pie. You understand that we don't own property. keep us as ignorant as possible. The music, the music is of the devil. So the thing is, if we can pump this music, we can lead a lot of kids, black kids, astray. You got this girl named Carly Red talking about her coochie pink and her booty brown. It's like, what the hell? It's making our kids, this world, these young people don't have a conscience anymore. They don't have a soul. We already know what's behind it. The CIA was the ones that brought out the heroin and the cocaine and flooded black lives. It endangered black lives. Freeway Ricky Ross, if y'all know the story. BMF, their pusher was the CIA and the government push. But they said it was to fund the war in Nicaragua. What? They're lying. It was a war to damage black people. So we've been under attack for years. But the thing is, how long is the rabbit gonna go for the gun? How long? After a while, it's on us.
And it even goes before that to COINTELPRO, FBI, J. Hoover. It goes deep. But what I'm saying is that, and you said, her name is Sexy Red, by the way, because I'm in the music industry, so very heavy on that, and I try to keep the people positive.
We'll be positive before we leave.
If they positive, they won't get a deal.
No, man, we would like you to become part of the team. Are you serious about my name? Now I gotta change it to, you said Yak?
I like Yak.
So why do I gotta change my name now? No, I know.
I'm a hip hop dude.
I know.
I don't like calling people Jacob. I would say Jake.
It's like my mom, Jake. Right? It sounds like my mom.
No, I wouldn't change your name if you ain't want to. But I
no, I mean, if you want to, no, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I people call me Jake, but I get it. You know what I mean? I didn't. So Yak is cool.
I like Yak. Yeah.
And last thing I had, because Scar City, I know, we got time here. We all have things to do, but Scar City being in hip hop and things of that nature and having that background for so long, and you were talking about it, and I think that's where we cut off. The 50th birthday, like you said, and like you said, they're training them, to go out and sell drugs and go out and kill people and things like that from the music.
I don't think they training them. That's the only music that they accepting.
Facts. They're not going to compensate them if they try to come with the positive Chuck D, Arrested Development type of music.
Yes, because they don't want us to inspire. They don't want the next generation to be inspired. They want the ignorance because it travels, and it's seeds. It's so seeds. So it's sad.
Yep. And one other thing I want to point out is just let's not get it misconstrued. We are in a different time. Every time we're in a generation, we're like, I'm in my 40s, right? Like once you get up there, you always look back and you're like, oh, it's the same thing what Bobbie was saying earlier. Like the people that are saved now, looking down on the people who are going through trials and tribulations. Don't look down on the people and don't look down on these youngsters. Because at one point, I remember people, my grandmother, grandfather, oh, what is that you're listening to in the 80s and 90s? I remember them doing that to me. So let's not be so judgmental of the youth. They're very impressionable and they need positive role models. So if they do what they see, if they see people being positive and on their Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole vibes and even Nas, right, more positive vibes, that's what they're gonna gravitate to. But if they, like you said, the Sexy Reds and these other people,
it's too late for that because they're in position with people gravitating to them. And the thing is, what they screwing up. Nicki Minaj was in an interview and she said she cried after talking to Future. Future said, everybody think I get high. I don't even get high. And Nicki Minaj was upset because there are kids listening to your music that's doing lean because you're doing it. So the thing is, the negative influence that hip hop is having, kids are spinning the block because it's what they're hearing. So I'm not looking down on them, but the thing is, it's something to look down on. I mean, you can't look up to it.
Right. But I always look at hip hop as it's a subculture, right? It's a subculture. What's going on in the communities, hip hop is a reflection of that. So we have to address
That's
what we
right.
talk about is Labor Day, right? We got to address the lack of jobs, right? Because we can't tell them, hey, get off the street corner, you don't have a job for them,
There's jobs out here they don't want to work. Oh, now
right?
I'm getting on you, Star City. I was getting on
Let's go,
y'all.
let's go.
No, that's
Let's go
crazy.
for it.
But
No,
the
no,
thing is jobs out here.
no, that's deep because no, we did an
They're
interview.
being used
Yeah.
by the devil, that the young black little boy that's coming up, they want them to go on a devilish class that they don't want to see a Dr. Martin Luther King, no Malcolm X, no Chuck D's, no KRS. Don't want to see us elevate in the United States, stuck in the PJs with pissy staircase, an evil plan by the man, phase one in effect. Caseworker caught my daddy, they cutting my mama check. Oh, say, can you see what an American mess? Turn on your radio. All you hear is gun, drug, sex. They got our babies' attention. Every bar, every verse is sending babies to prison. Oh, did I mention? Do you hear what I'm saying? So that's what it is. They don't want to see another Dr. Martin Luther King. So they want to make sure that everything that they put their money behind, it'll help develop black children to go to jail and not school. That's it.
That's real talk. And there's a book I want our listeners to check out when they get a chance. I told you Rich Dad Poor Dad because our people, suffer from a lack of knowledge, right? It's not about, it's everything that's happening now. This is nothing new. This is nothing new under the sun.
It's been ushered in.
We know about the COINTELPRO. We know about the Jim Crow. We know about all these things that already occurred. And if you continue to let something happen, it's just like that. You need help, you got to get help. If you got an addiction, you got to get help, right? So, yeah, check out outside of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Also check out Don't Believe the Hype. And it talks that book.
And How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That's a powerful book.
It sure is.
How to communicate.
Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. We can keep going.
Storm these radio stations by thousands and say, we ain't taking it no more. That's what got to happen. These program directors is feeding poison and they getting paid millions of dollars to play the music. I'm done.
No, you're not. But you real quick. We have a friend of mine. We interviewed a bunch of times. He's a smart guy. You said something interesting, and I'm done after this. About jobs. We have a friend that works at a big company. It's not just landscaping in Pennsylvania. We just interviewed him, and they put out ads. This is in Pennsylvania, and so it is remote, but it's in outside Harrisburg and south of the Harrisburg, York, Pennsylvania. But it put out ads in the paper for $25, $30, landscaping jobs. No one picks them up. So you know what they do? They go to the state. There's a program. Just slipped my mind right now. But basically, they have Mexicans come up and work for their company. You know what I'm saying? And what does that say about our country that people don't want to work? And that's when you said that, I was like, Scar City and we just did an interview. He talked about my friend in this program, how we bring other people in from other countries to do jobs that Americans can do. I'm not talking about white, black, Jewish, Chinese, whatever. And you just said it, like, and that I was like, oh God, like we just.
I would like to know what's the purpose of that PPA money that they gave. I want to know what was the root of it and what was the plan. What was the end game?
Some people used it properly, though. I know about this. Some people used it. No, but you're right. Some people bought houses.
All I'm saying is, why did they do that? Because America never gave us nothing. So I just want to know, I wonder, what was behind that? I know it's to feed the feedback because they know black people is liquid money. They're going to give it back to Gucci. They're going to build the economy back up at ShopRite. You understand? So I know that was one of the plan, but it caused a lot of people to be lazy now, and everybody want fast money. So they just waiting to loot again. So America is sad, but we can start closing out. Any more questions?
I think we're all good.
Real quick, Charlie, do you want to comment on that when when I was spoke about with Brennan, when we talked about jobs and things of that nature?
Oh, I could go on and on about that.
No, I know.
Listen, real quick. It's not that the people. It's not that the people don't want to work, because people do want to work. They don't want to work for crumbs. And another thing is that, perception. Like, in the Bible it says the eye is not enough for seeing, the ear is not enough for hearing. Like, we see things and hear things. You got social media. We see all these people with this jury. They want to emulate that, so they don't want to make $20 an hour. When they look at their paycheck after the taxes, or they have a baby mother, or if they have, student loan debt, they look at it like, what is this? What am I gonna do with $250? $250, you spend that in a day or two. So they want the money, they want to work, but the problem is that, and this is a book too called Increasing Your Net Worth. Learn how to increase your net worth. Your trajectory should always be better the next day. That's what I always told people from my hood. They're like, yo, you working downtown. I like, yo, you could work downtown too. Ain't nothing special about me. I don't put on a cape like Superman. You can do the same thing, but you gotta not be lazy. Get up and take on the challenge. That's why I teach kids. I used to teach kids how to play chess, and elder people, the senior citizens in my community. I used to teach them that, and that's important. That's why I love Bobbie so much, because I see him dealing with the community. Anybody who could deal with the community is light years ahead, because most people can't do that. Because that takes a well-rounded person that you could deal with.
It ain't about well-rounded. It's about caring and having the compassion. It's about using your gift. So it's a gift, not a skill. It's a gift of love and laboring because you care. So yeah, a lot of people don't care.
I agree with that. And even the ones I'm saying that do care, if they don't know how to do it, like as is above, so is below. It takes a certain. I speak for myself now. Me, I could go to the trap right now, talk to what's popping, I can speak that language and speaking the language too. So you go to a community, you don't speak the language, they're not going to accept you. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be a Mason, you could be a Father, you could be a Muslim. If you don't go in there and say Assalamu alaikum, if alaikum salam, you don't speak the language, they're going to look at you funny. Same thing with the church. If I go in there and I coming in there with the gold fronts, like, yo, shit, they're not going to, probably won't accept you. So it's protocol. And I think that's the thing, is where we lost the connection from the people, So anyway, we could go on and on about this. I don't know. My one question is just a closeout question, just like, how can the people reach him? That's all I was going to ask.
Oh yeah. The people can reach me. I'm on all platforms. Bobbie Holiday with 2 L's, TikTok, Instagram is the Bobbie Holliday Experience. But if you hit in on the search, BOBBIEHOL, the Bobbie Holliday Experience going to come up. So I'm doing a lot of church events. So if you got any church events coming up and you need an entertainer, I'm one of the best in the game. Yeah. So, yep.
Mad love to you, Bobbie. We're about to close it out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again, Bobbie, for stopping by All Emotion on this Labor Day. Look forward, sir, to having you back. Thank you all again for tuning in. If you have not done so already, please go to allemotion.com and subscribe to our mailing list. From Scar City, the AIM staff, and myself, be on the lookout for episode 56. Take care.